Human actions threaten more species with global extinction now than ever before. Around 1 million species already face extinction, many within decades, unless action is taken to reduce the drivers of biodiversity loss. Unfortunately, in the big picture, the littlest of things tend to get forgotten about. So today I'm here to speak with you about one of those little things typically forgotten about, and that is our local soil life. Our soil microbiome, aka the soil food web, is losing its diversity. When microscopists or scientists typically look at our soils under the microscope, what they typically see is mostly bacteria and not much else. Nowadays, we're very familiar that our that our gut microbiome plays an important role in human health. The soil food web plays a very similar important role in plants and nature. Growing up here in the valley, I never gave much thought to our local soil life or our environment. My family, we used pesticides, we used herbicides, it was normal. Many others used inorganic fertilizers, fungicides, and we all tilled. We all contributed to killing our soil life. And, for the most part, I think it was unknowingly. I mean, how could we know? We can't see most of our soil life with our naked eye. We can't hear their screams. So unfortunately, the damage continued, at least for most. For myself, one day, I suffered from some significant health issues. I had multiple physical injuries, which led to multiple surgeries, and ultimately, an insufficient recovery. I struggled to walk, feed myself, bathe myself. Basically, life sucked. So then I started thinking, what if nature has answers? What if I could learn to create and consume cleaner air, water, soil, food? Maybe this could somehow improve my overall health. Long story short, it worked. I'm very capable nowadays and strong. But during this research phase, I discovered Dr. Elaine Ingham, world-renowned soil microbiologist. And she had a soil food web school too. So I quickly enrolled, graduated with distinction, and ultimately found that a lot of our local problems, like contaminated air, water, soil, drought, flooding, all have one common variable, and that is the ignoring of nature's microscopic operating system, the soil food web. So my mission is to heal our local soils and increase access to organic food grown in living soil. It's time to stop killing the soil beneath our feet and start cultivating living soil to grow abundance. So what do? We grow good guy microbes. We build them habitat. We ensure they're properly fed and maintained. Then we kick back, put our feet up, and enjoy the benefits of working with nature. So what are some of those benefits? When water moves through biodiverse living soil, contaminants are captured, filtered, converted into nutrients for the soil life. That means we get cleaner water and cleaner soil. When we restore soil diversity and we have an abundance of beneficial fungi, they pull mass amounts of carbon from our air, putting in the soil, meaning we get cleaner air. When these good guy microbes, or what I like to think of them as like nature's little super scientists, create amazing soil structure and contribute organic matter, which leads to better water absorption, retention, we can increase in drought and flood resilience. Soil food web, it offers protection against pests, diseases, increases crop resistance to environment-related stresses, inhibits the growth of weeds. Yes, please, since I'm typically pulling them, can increase yields and so much more. Did you know the earth is largely made out of fertilizer? Bound in the crystalline structure of every sand, silt, and clay particle, including rocks, there's a whole lot of fertilizer. We just need the soil food web to access it. We are sitting, or standing, on an abundance of free resources, or you can go to the store and buy it. It's your choice. We have known for a very long time, nature's incredibly powerful. So imagine how powerful we could be too by collaborating with nature. And we can do so. We just need a few steps in order to. So I'd like to share with you a quick how-to on cultivating your own living soil to grow abundance. Step 1, let's make some compost. There's so many ways to make compost, from the thermophilic method, which requires regular turning, and probably most of you are familiar with, but there's also a static approach, requires no turning, a lot of patience, but it's great for like lazy gardeners or busy gardeners like myself. And then there's vermicompost, where you take worms, you feed them your organic waste, and they convert that into a high-quality resource, aka worm castings. Whatever method you choose to compost with, this compost is kind of like your sourdough starter, if you will. It will be used to recolonize your soil with a diversity of beneficial microbes. Step 2, let's build some habitat. Biochar is one of my favorite homes for microbes. It is a charcoal that has this insane pore structure, and just think those pores are kind of like little apartment complexes. The microbes go in there, they live, they store their water, their food, their air. Think just this biodiverse, thriving coral reef. Now imagine putting that in the soil. That's basically what biochar does. Then there's wood chip mulch. If you have a bare soil, cover it with a wood chip mulch. Not only does it help protect your soil life from the external environment, but it also feeds them too. It's basically an edible roof. It's pretty cool stuff. So step 3, let's make sure we feed our microbes. So just like you and I, your soil life needs to eat too. Plants are excellent for this. Plants regularly pull carbon from our atmosphere. They put it in the soil in the form of sugars, carbohydrates, proteins. They're basically the grocery stores of the soil food web. Another great option, organic fertilizers. Since most organic fertilizers need to be broken down by your soil life before those nutrients are available to your plant, when you choose an organic fertilizer, you're not just feeding your plant, but you're feeding and growing your soil food web too. Step 4, protect your soil life. So we just worked really hard to grow our microbes, to build habitat, to ensure they're properly well fed. Now we gotta make sure they're safe. So I know not everyone here has a microscope, and that's okay, as long as we use safe management practices and inputs. So toxic chemicals like inorganic fertilizers, fungicides, pesticides, herbicides, unfortunately, when we look under the microscope, we see a loss in diversity. So avoid using those. Instead, choose organic options. Like, well, I'm not gonna give 2 examples, but choose organic options and get educated on those organic options, because not every organic option is created equally. So if you're having trouble with your research, find a local expert. It's okay. Tillage. Might as well call it killage. Literally every single time we till, we're just like slicing and dicing fungal strands. We're crushing and destroying our larger predatory organisms. We're losing diversity. So stop tilling, please. The only time I will recommend tilling is you got all this amazing compost from step 1, you got all this biochar from step 2, and if you had a vacant piece or if you have a plot of land that's just dirt, you've never added charcoal, you've never added compost or organic matter, okay. When you till that, there's not much diversity anyway, so you're not gonna kill too much. You put your biochar in, you put your compost into that soil, you till it once, because guess what? Charcoal can last for hundreds to thousands of years in your soil. So you're not gonna reapply. Compost? Yeah, you're gonna reapply compost, but every time you add compost, just sprinkle it on top of the soil. And then allow your organisms to move that compost into the soil profile, which maintains your soil structure and ultimately allows you to build soil in a way that more closely resembles nature. Chlorine. Chlorine's a sterilizer. Our soil life is largely microbes. Please do not add sterilizer to your soil life. Something simple like a garden or irrigation filter to reduce contaminants coming into your system is going to ultimately give you a more successful living soil. We are currently at war with the life beneath our feet. Toxic chemicals, tillage, paved pathways, and infrastructure for days. It took me a while to figure it out, but I hope that this talk helped you figure it out too. Imagine our valley with clean air, water, and soil. Happy, healthy people in harmony with our local environment. This is all possible when growing with the soil food web. So on that note, I'm gonna leave you all with a few challenges. I challenge you all, go home and make some compost. Use biochar. Apply a wood chip mulch if you got some bare dirt. Plant organically. And I know I didn't talk about compost teas or extracts, but they're super cool. Look them up. Last but not least, especially for those who may not be able to participate in any of these previous challenges, I challenge you to support local sustainable farmers and businesses that regularly engage in these principles. Thank you.